Yo, yo, yo. Good morning. Good day. What's up? What's going on, guys? Dude, I'm tired. I don't know. What's up, everybody? We're having day 3 of Breath of the Wild. Yeah, we had a good day yesterday. Found out how to. We got some new equipment, new armor set. We found out how to get it upgraded. That was really cool. And we're gonna keep pushing. We'll have another good day today in Breath of the Wild. Day 3 with Master Mode. Cool. It's been a really cool experience so far, and we'll keep going. We'll keep pushing. Yeah, as we do. We'll keep having some fun stuff. After we do what we do with the video gaming news stuff. Okay. So on that note, let's go ahead and get over here and get into the news and see what we can dig up. Cool. Let's see what we can dive into here that's new in the video gaming industry. All right. We've also got a few things to talk about initially. One was brought up by our buddy Pinky. Yeah. So we'll get into that stuff. First of all, though, take a look. Bam. Check that noise. This is what we're listening to this morning. Some BPM, man. BPM. Amazing rhythm-based FPS roguelike game. Indie developer as well. Love supporting indie devs and everything. Just a fan of the soundtrack and fan of the game in general. So if you're enjoying the music we're listening to this morning, it is from the game. This is the BPM OST, or the BPM soundtrack. And if a rhythm-based FPS roguelike, if any of those types of game genres are kind of up your alley, then I highly recommend checking it out. All right. We'll kill it. Kill that music. Let's go ahead and get over here and get into the news. Okay. Cool. So, first off, before I forget, let's address some of the stuff that the community has brought up a little bit, okay? One of which is this situation right here. Check this noise out. Shout out to our buddy Pinky. Thanks, my friend. Appreciate it. There we go. Cool. So, Steam, you stopped eating? Why?
Unacceptable!
That should never happen. That should never happen. What's up, buddy? What's up, Wick? Can't have carbs in a hot girl summer? Bro, where are you living? Did you put a hot tub in like a sauna or something in the smoothie shop, dude? Because, brother, it is not summer here. So, Valve is giving away one Steam Deck per minute during the Game Awards on December 8th. Oh, are we getting some music quotes coming in? Is that what's happening? Or what is this, dude? So the Valve is giving away here. Let me up this a bit. Giving away one Steam Deck per minute during the Game Awards on December 8th, and we'll be tuning in this channel as well. So maybe, yeah, I kind of thought that might be the play, dude. Maybe. So, nice, dude. Yeah. Yes, it really is one Steam Deck per minute. Starting with the beginning of the official show at 5 p.m. Pacific, we'll be randomly drawing a name each minute from the pool of folks who registered ahead of time. More on that below. And are watching the Game Awards live stream on Steam. We even have a fun animated Steam Pal digital sticker for everyone who registers. For a preview of the sticker and to register for the giveaway, head here, okay? The important stuff. Registration for the drawing is required. You must meet all eligibility requirements. We have the full list here, but they include you must be in the US, Canada, UK, or the EU. You need to have made a purchase on Steam between November 14th of last year and November 14th of this year. So between those November 14th dates of the past year, you need to have made at least one purchase on Steam to be eligible. Your account must be in good standing. Yo, Aristotle, what's up, buddy? You cannot have a limited account. Those are the requirements for this, okay? Registration is open now. The Game Awards will be streaming live at steam.tv. You'll be eligible, to be eligible, you must be registered, logged in, and watch the stream there. Interesting. Winners will be announced in chat every minute as drawing takes place. You can also enter by mail. Complete rules are here, okay? So we are going to watch it in this channel as well, but what I will probably do, I'll register for this, and I'll just keep this stream up, maybe on my phone or on a different tab and mute it out or something like that. I don't know. But we will definitely watch it in this channel. We had already planned on doing that. Most big events we watch live in the channel, and I'd already planned on doing that. But, man, this is, a pretty good chance a minute, dude. Every single minute. They're going to be giving away a solid amount of these. So if you meet these requirements, why not register and try to get in on a free Steam Deck, man? I'll touch on it again before we end the news segment, but that's pretty neat. And I don't know. Free games, free gaming devices. Dude, I'm going to try to help everybody that I can all the time get access to the world that I love, which is video games. And so I always try to promote this kind of content. Again, big shout out to our buddy Pinky, our community member Pinky, for making us aware of this this giveaway that's going to be happening during the Video Game Awards coming up. Cool. We'll hit on it again. Before we end the gaming news segment. Okay. I'll probably just start touching on this every single day for people, but we'll hit on it twice today. All right. Let's see. How are you today? Aristotle, what's up, buddy? Check it out, guys. New free games are hitting today. Yo, it's December, dude. Holy crap. Yeah, it is a cool giveaway. Yeah, I didn't realize initially that they were going to have some requirements like that, but for the people that do, meet those requirements, that's pretty cool, and you might as well try to get in on it. You know what I mean? I've said this before. The Steam Deck, I was kind of skeptical before it released, but the more I know about that device, the more I have found out about that device, I have found it to be a very, very, very cool platform. I'm good, buddy. I'm good, man. I'm a bit tired this morning, but I'm good, dude. I have no complaints, man. No complaints. I'm solid, dude. So today is this morning, Star Wars Squadrons is going to go away. It will no longer be free, right? Here on Epic. Star Wars Squadrons will, we're talking roughly 3.5 hours from now. 3.5 hours from now, Star Wars Squadrons will no longer be free. So go grab that if you haven't already. And then these two titles, we're talking Fort Triumph and RPG in a Box, will become free at the time that this discontinues being free on Epic, okay? So go get your free game. Get ready to grab these later on this morning, All right, or later on today, whatever time it is for you. Cool, cool. All right, let's go. Let's see what other stuff we can find for the news here. December's free games with Amazon Prime Gaming have what? We kind of already talked about free games coming up. Yeah, I'm not going to deep dive into this. We already talked about this, but look, you can see right here. These are the notable games that are becoming free for December, which you should be able to get a hold of now. Anybody that has Amazon Prime, Prime Gaming is something that comes along with that subscription, and quite often, like every month, they give away a number of free games. And they're always giving away in-game content. They're collaborating with a lot of different developers. They always give away in-game content and stuff like that too. So go take a look. The amount of in-game content is kind of wild. A lot of different titles they collaborate to give away in-game content. But know that right now, if you do have Amazon Prime, and do some research, if you're interested in some of these titles, there are ways to go about maybe getting some Amazon Prime trials for like a month or two. If there are some titles you're really interested in getting for free, that might be an option. Do a little bit of searching online, okay? But for this month, for December, it'll be Spinch, Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, Quake, Doors Pandora, or Doors Paradox, excuse me, and Banners of Ruin. Cool? So those are the free games for Amazon Prime Gaming this month, all right? We've hit on a lot of the free stuff. Let's go ahead and see what's news. Oh, no, dude. New Marvel's Wolverine report has disappointing news. Crap, dude. Hopefully that's not bad. You're on console? RIP? Okay. Here's what I'll say. I try to, so especially for a platform like Epic, yeah? For a platform like Epic, there's still no reason, even if you don't have a gaming PC right now, you can't go ahead and build a library of games. Okay? Keep this in mind. You can hop on your phone, go to Epic's website, their storefront, and create an account and just start collecting these games. They give away about 2 free games every single week. And then at around Christmas time or the holiday season, whatever you want to refer to it as, usually it's somewhere between the 15th of December through the end of December. They do about a week and a half to 2 weeks long of a free game, and they're quite notable games. Very, very good games. They give away every single day. And that's coming up. But all you have to do is have an account. And you can go to their website, their storefront, on like any browser. You can be on your phone, whatever. And you can just go add those games, those free games to your account. You know what I mean? So just because you don't PC game right now doesn't mean that might not be an option for you in the future, right? So basically, go create an account. And look, I'm not sponsored by these sites or anything. I'm just trying to help people get more access to gaming content, right? I see a lot of what happens today in the industry, price-wise, as a big obstacle for many, many people. So if I can help people understand a better way to get around some of that, get access to free video games, that's what I'm going to do. So consider that. Make yourself an account on a browser, go visit their storefront, log in, and just start collecting these PC games. Then later on, if you start gaming on a PC, you can go get on Epic's platform, open your library up, and look, you'll just have like a an incredibly big library of games to choose from whenever you decide to start doing some PC gaming. Because look, I'll tell you this: you see this library I'm dealing with right here for Epic. I have maybe purchased 2 of these games. Okay, these are all games that I just keep up with every single week that they give away. I have 186 games right now. I have purchased a handful of these tops. You know what I mean? So, start yourself a library. You never know when you might start getting into PC gaming, and then you'll just have a bunch of games to choose from. Cool? This is going to be maybe a rough read. Look, I'm really, really excited for a Wolverine game. I'm not real big into superheroes, okay? I'm a little bit. I'm more into anti-heroes, and I like villains. So when I knew that Wolverine was getting a new standalone game, and the fact that it was being developed by Insomniac, which is the same developer that makes the Spider-Man games, I was pretty excited. They've done a pretty solid job with the Spider-Man games. But we'll see what this news is in a bit. Ugh. Hopefully it's not too bad. Yeah, again, Microsoft sort of fixes Windows 11 gaming performance issues. They've been rolling out some new patches for Windows 11. Uh, Neutral either way. You mean about the superhero stuff? I have some superheroes I dig. I've just always kind of gravitated more towards, if that's what you're talking about, Aristotle. I've always gravitated more towards anti-hero, even heavier into enjoying villain personalities than uh, real try-hard hero types. Like, I can't really stand Captain America, dude. Like it's just not my jam. Like I just can't get into that. Um, but hey, man, to each their own. That's just my personality. Um, so look, Windows 11 has had some notable issues for gaming for a while now, and some of the fixes that people found for it, and even Windows has talked about, Microsoft has talked about, it basically presented the option to turn off certain Windows 11 features or configurations, processes, things like that, that would um, potentially result in your operating system have significant vulnerabilities. Why those processes or whatever were turned off, right? And it's not a real good way about going trying to circumvent those issues for people trying to game on Windows 11. So they've been rolling out some new updates trying to address and fix those issues, but it looks like maybe they're getting there, but maybe not totally. Yeah. Yeah, we've talked about this too. I think they're talking about Eidos Montreal, right? I think that's who they're talking about. We'll touch on this real quick. This is Embracer Group stuff. We've hit on that a lot, but we'll pull it up real quick and talk about it. If you're not familiar, Embracer bought out all the North American development studios that were underneath Square Enix earlier in the year, and they got some notable IPs. We're talking about like some Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, stuff like that, Thief, and a lot of people are hopeful that Embracer is going to breathe new life into those IPs. Yo, sick, Aristotle, nice, dude. Yeah, why not, dude? Yeah, why not? but we'll touch on it real quick. Wait, what? Oh. Uh, Monster Hunter Rise Xbox and PlayStation ports reportedly coming. Okay, let's take a look at that. Major PS4 and PS5 release leaks early on PSN. We'll take a look at what that is as well. Two games available today with Xbox PC Game Pass. See what those are. See if we've hit on those yet or not. But that was 30 minutes ago, and it did say today, so we probably haven't. We already touched on this. Star Wars Squadrons is only available on Epic for another like less than 3.5 hours. So go grab it. For free. New Xbox Game Pass tease had Star Wars fans excited. We'll see what's going on there. Sick, dude. Nice. Nice, Veristal. That's awesome, man. I'm glad. I mean, why not? Who knows, man? Maybe you'll never use it, but it's free, dude. It's free. And again, look, coming up, this is like the time to go ahead and start doing that too, because it literally just takes a couple of minutes, right? Takes a couple of minutes to get that done, get in there and just start grabbing free games, you know? And coming up, again, the last half of this month, it'll be free games every single day, and there'll be big, good games on there too. So if you ever decide to start doing PC gaming, man, you'll be set up. You'll be ready to roll with some quite a few titles. Yeah, yeah, super easy, right? Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, absolutely not hard. New Tales of Symphonia remastered trailer. We'll take a quick peek at that too. All right, let's pivot into our other search real quick. See if we can find anything else. Talked about that. We've got that up. They just released a new trailer for the Super Mario Brothers movie, didn't they? I haven't even seen it yet. I haven't even seen it. I'm so weirded out about Chris Pratt doing the voice for Mario. I don't know. I'm pretty stoked about the other like voice acts. I just don't know what to think about that. Yeah. No, you're good, bro. You're good, buddy. I can understand that, dude. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Get yourself some breakfast, dude. Yeah. Yeah, no worries, man. What is this? Dungeons and Dragons reveals results of first one D&D playtest. One Dungeons and Dragons. Wait, wait. Is this actually it's so hard to tell sometimes if this is actually for a video game or actually some kind of tabletop game or something. What is this? D&D? What is one D&D? Let's take a look. Yeah, it's tabletop. Yeah, it's tabletop. That's what I thought. Yeah. So I won't dive into that. Look, if anybody's into tabletop stuff and you want to read that, I'll throw it in chat for you. But, you know, this is video gaming news, man. I'm not going to dive into all that content because it's not video games. We got a lot of D&D players, and that's cool, man. Tabletop stuff is cool as well, but this is just not what this content is about. So we'll stay out of it. We got enough other stuff that we need to hit on. Sony says PS Plus is struggling, so Xbox suggests it takes a key Game Pass feature. Just do what we're doing. Are they going to talk about release your day one games on your subscription platform? We'll take a look and see what Microsoft's going to say to Sony there. Look, that's been one of my big takeaways for everybody in regards to the big difference I see between these subscription services, right? Xbox, you get day one releases in the subscription. Proprietary games for Xbox also are on Game Pass, right? Sony doesn't do that. PlayStation doesn't do that. And people will go, well, yeah, but you pay more for a year of Game Pass than you will of PS Plus, right? True. But if you look at it like this, and we'll see if that's what they're talking about in this article once we get to it. But if you think about it like this, you literally only have to buy one Sony proprietary game on release at full price for it to then add that game price with Sony's subscription service, and you're paying more per year than Xbox's subscription service is a year. And that's only for one day one release that you would be getting alongside their subscription service at PlayStation. Whereas with Xbox, you get all of them, you know? I think that's what they're going to talk about. We'll see. Popular Nintendo Game Boy game teased to return soon. Interesting. Dark Picture Switchback VR is a PlayStation VR 2 title. Okay. Yeah, look, Fallout boss. Look, this is Hod Towered, okay? uh, hopefully the Fallout show is good. You know what I mean? I think most of us that are fans of video games want to see really good adaptations come about because there's been a big undertaking over the past few to 5 years of turning video games into adapting video games into television shows or movies, right? Not that it wasn't being done before that, but man, it is really ramping up. Yeah. And we want to see those worlds we love, those games we love, those universes be adapted very well into other forms of entertainment, right? The fact of the matter is, it's just not always going to be done great. Halo, you know what I mean? So, we hope that Fallout will be great, but look, man, to have Todd Howard go, it's gonna be wonderful. Take that with a grain of salt. That's also, Todd Howard's the infamous it just works quote, you know? Yo, gamer, what's up, dude? I think I lost the last half of what you were saying there, man. How are you, buddy? So we'll see, man. For PS Premium, there is a 25% off deal. Oh, nice, dude. Nice. Um, is it just straight through PlayStation? I'm guessing, right? Just straight through PlayStation. 860 a month. Oh, so it's like about half right now that you would pay. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. So let me see something. So we're talking Game Pass is about 200 a year at that price, right? And um, so that means PS Plus would be uh, a little over 100. Yeah, but again, I mean, it doesn't put it far off from what I was talking about. Still a little bit more, but doesn't put it far off than what I was talking about. But that's cool, man. It's good to know. Um, Even with the sell price there, you can see like it's about half, right, for a year. But if you're buying a proprietary PlayStation game at what is becoming the new norm of $70, unfortunately, you know that puts buying one day one release on PlayStation along with that year of subscription at 170 compared to the Xbox Game Pass for a year at 200, where you're getting every proprietary day one release on the Xbox subscription service. You know what I mean? But I mean, a lot of it's going to be what platform are you into? You know, that's a lot of it too. So I'm just giving people perspective on, you know, the big difference I see in them. You know, that's it. And that's something that I think people should really take into consideration there. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So exactly, like for yourself, it doesn't matter, right? And there are going to be a lot of people that are in that same kind of basket, if you will, right? To where, um, you know, if day one releases on Xbox have no kind of relevance to you, that it doesn't have any kind of gravity for your decision making process, it doesn't really matter to you, then obviously getting a year of PS Plus at half the price of a year of Xbox Game Pass makes a lot more sense. Yeah. So everybody's going to have a bit of a different um, relative take on what's going to be better for them, depending on preferences and their own situation with gaming and things like that. Absolutely. Just in comparing them inherently to what they offer, and specifically in regards to including day one releases to not including day one releases, and what that does to line them up. It's just, I think, pertinent to bring that up. Yeah, and that I mean that's a big part of it, right? That's a big part of it. Yeah, quite often, over the years, people have gravitated more towards one platform or the other, not traditionally towards both. And so, whichever one of those platforms you've gravitated more towards, you usually have uh, more of a propensity to get into that subscription service, right? One second. All right, man. Yeah, we talked about this 2 days ago. This is actually a pretty good read. It's very refreshing to see a mind be the mind behind a universe like this kind of see the early development process behind a game adaptation not going well and say, this is not what I want for my world and my universe, and pull the plug on it. So it doesn't mean that Mystery Flesh Pit National Park won't end up becoming a game. It's just not going to happen right now. But a couple of days ago, we touched on this, and that would be like November 29th edition of Video Gaming News, I think. And it's on YouTube. We dive into an article about this, and it was pretty refreshing to see. Take a look if you're interested. Beyond Good and Evil 2 report breaks silence on game's development. Okay. This has been a game that's been delayed like forever. Iconic because of it, actually. I'm not diving into this 50th anniversary collection of Atari because we've touched on that stuff before, so I'm not going to get in it. I had something else I wanted to bring up before we get into all this other news as well. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet players want voice acting in Pokemon games. Yeah, yeah. I feel like most games at this point should really be taking a hard look at getting voice acting put in, especially if there's quite a bit of NPC interaction, dialogue rich stuff. But yeah, we're at a point in time now with video games where a lot of people kind of want voice acting to be in there. Looks like Far Cry 6 has an update that adds a highly requested feature. We'll take a look at that. Tekken 8 reveal teased for the Game Awards. I'm not going to bring this article up. Just know this. We're about a week away from the Game Awards. We touched on it this morning. And I'm going to read this entire thing again at the end of the news segment. But shout out to Pinky again. There is the potential for people to, if you meet certain criteria, be able to register for winning Steam Decks that are going to be given away every single minute during the Game Awards that happen on December 8th. We touched on it first thing during the news segment. I will also touch on it at the very end of the news segment today. I will continue to touch on it up until the Game Awards happen, okay? Try to get everybody in that is able to get in and win a Steam Deck, all right? But along with that, the Game Awards, there's going to be a lot of reveals. There's going to be announcements for game releases, like specific dates for releases that we weren't aware of yet. Like we'll probably get Final Fantasy 16 release date, and we'll probably get just kind of across the board there, like some new content showing for certain games we know are in development, things like that. So we'll watch it here in this community as well, and it'll probably give us some pretty good stuff outside of just awarding games for the year, you know. Okay, let's stick with that. Let's stick with that. We'll get into all these. Come on in, buddy. Get in here, bro. Did you get some food, dude? Or are you making it? Check it out. We had a game just hit early access on Steam. Funny enough, we've just been talking about all this early access stuff. But still cooking. Word, dude. Word. Check it out. Probably should have just looked it up. So, predecessor. I had this game on my wish list, and I can't remember right now who brought this game up to me. Was it maybe Reject? One of our community members actually brought this game to my attention, and we're talking about a third-person strategy MOBA. Think Smite, but a bit more modern looking, maybe. Um, and I don't play a lot of MOBA stuff, but this looked pretty interesting. And so I'll show the trailer real quick. It just released today in early access. I got a notification this morning. Whenever I woke up, had a notification on my phone. And I was like, okay, you know what? This looks pretty cool. Let's bring it up real quick during the news segment and show everybody kind of what's going on here. All right.
Let's collide. Exists a universe where true heroes
Oh, my bad.
are born. Where your first mistake could be your last. You must choose your battles. For only the strong survive. And the bold victorious. Let's do it. What will you do for victory? Will you succumb to destruction? Or rise to glory?
Obviously, that was cinematic stuff, but they do have a little gameplay trailer as well.
Feeling a little
So
trigger
this
happy?
showcases
So is our
like
mid-lane
one of the
mage,
characters,
Houtz.
right?
Houtzer's passive is Armed Salvo.
But you can
Houtzer's
see this
next
is a little
basic
bit of
attack
the
does additional
gameplay.
magical damage in an area around the target. Houtzer restores mana based on the damage dealt, restoring more versus enemy heroes hit. Using an ability also reduces the cooldown of Armed Salvo.
It looks pretty solid, man. In my opinion.
Houtzer's secondary ability.
And again, I'm
is
not a big
landing.
MOBA player or
Houzer
anything,
launches
but
a mine that will explode a
it
short
looks
time
something
after
worth maybe
landing,
keeping an eye
knocking
on
enemy heroes
and
Houzer
checking out.
back while
I just
dealing
figured since
magical
it went
damage.
early
The
access
mine
today,
can
we'd take a
explode
look at it
early
and keep up with maybe how people were reviewing the game and everything.
Houtzer has no shortage of missiles. In his R2000 missile, Houtzer fires a
Nice, very
long-range
subtle.
rocket that will
Dude, that
explode
sounds like my
impact,
jam
dealing
right there,
magical
too.
damage in an area. Want to slow down
I love
enemies
the
so they're
bacons,
easier
man.
to hit? No problem. Houtzer's alternative ability, Slow Grenade, releases a large cluster of proximity bombs that explode when an enemy hits them. This will deal magical damage and apply a short duration slow. Additional mines against the enemy target will deal reduced damage, but also reapply the slow. Now for the grand finale. Houtzer's ultimate, Make It Rain. Houtzer thrusts up in the air, allowing him to move freely and rain down death from the sky. This deals magical damage to any target's hit. For more details, visit playpred.com.
So I was just thinking about this. I wanted to talk about it or bring it up before I forgot. Here's the deal, though. We're talking about early access, where it's like there are different price points, and I don't know what all the different. There's like the rare bundle for early access. It's like $10. The epic at $25, and then there's the legendary at $40 to get in here early access. And I don't know what all that entails. I'll probably look into it at some point later. I don't want to take too much time. But right now the game has 81% positive reviews out of 120, and it just released today. So not bad, not bad. I mean, if you're into MOBAs, and especially anything along the lines of similar to like Smite, obviously, we're talking MOBA, third person, kind of situation, then it might be worth a check. It might be worth a check. It looks neat. It looks neat. Cool. Let's get into these news segments now. Popular Nintendo Game Boy game teased to return soon. Killer Instinct often flies under the radar when talking about games that came out in 94 because there were so many other notable games that came out in that year. While the fighting game didn't come to Nintendo Game Boy and SNES until 95, it actually debuted in 94 via arcades. Hence why it's a 1994 game and not a 1995 game. Probably most synonymous with arcades, but many did play it on both the Game Boy and Super Nintendo. That said, it looks like this 1994 classic may be getting ported to modern consoles. Check this out. Dude, old Killer Instinct was dope. Okay. Killer Instinct is now associated with Xbox because it was rebooted in 2013 by Xbox. However, this seems to be specifically teasing the original game, not a follow-up to 2013's reboot, which probably means if this is a port, it's going to be a multi-platform. Unfortunately, for now, all we have is speculation. Thankfully, we will have concrete information sooner rather than later. Okay, so we'll probably see something coming soon about more details regarding, but original Killer Instinct coming to modern consoles. That could be really cool, man. Original Killer Instinct was sick, man. Dark Pictures Switchback VR is a PlayStation VR 2 launch title. PlayStation VR 2 is, again, look, if you're not familiar, that's hitting on February 22nd, right? So understand that PlayStation VR 2 is going to set you back more than even the PlayStation 5 console does, price-wise. Okay? But if you're interested, and they've already announced there's I think probably close to about 20 games that are going to be available right around launch for the PSVR 2. Unfortunately, as Sony does, backwards compatibility is not going to be available, meaning PSVR 2 is not going to be able to play PSVR 1 titles. So that feels a bit bad, but I'm also not surprised because PlayStation is not very nice about backwards compatibility. So, it is what it is. It's not a surprise. Sucks, not a surprise though. As reported by Eurogamer, developer Supermassive Games has announced that the release date and pre-order bonuses for Switchback VR, its upcoming action horror shooter set in the same unsettling universe as The Man of Medan and other Dark Pictures titles. According to its PlayStation Store page, customers who purchased the title early for $40 US will be rewarded with a number of cosmetic items, including the Demon Handgun, a premium skull and bones card, a skull bobblehead, and a special edition gold gun. Here's their Switchback VR announce trailer. Content warning. I'm over 17. If you're not, look away. Mature content. Hey, congratulations, Aristotle. I think my mom would probably still say that I'm not. You're like, nah. Cool. There's the Switchback VR trailer. All right. Oh, check that out. Nice pause. Sick. Switchback VR will see players subjected to a horror-themed on-rail shooter steeped in content from the Dark Pictures games. Generally speaking, Switchback looks to offer a similar experience to the developer's 2016 roller coaster spin-off, Until Dawn: Rush of Blood. This time around, the developers have made use of the PSVR 2's eye-tracking features and haptic feedback capabilities, intending to draw players deeper into the experience. Yeah, so here you go. Back in November, PlayStation revealed that its next gen of VR console would come with a price tag of $550. Okay, so be prepared for that if you're interested in getting PSVR 2. This includes Sony's new VR2 headset, a pair of PSVR 2 controllers, and a set of stereo headphones. Needless to say, you'll also need to own a PS5 console as well. So, there you go. If you need more, I'll throw this in chat. There are a lot of links in there. If you need more info on that. That's the gist of it, though. Beyond Good and Evil 2 report breaks silence on games development. It's been nearly 20 years since the original Beyond Good and Evil released, and fans have been eagerly awaiting a sequel ever since. Beyond Good and Evil 2 has had many stops and starts, and it seems the sequel remains in early development, according to Tom Henderson of Insider Gaming. Henderson goes on to state that he was provided images and video of the current build, and is under the impression that the game has probably been rebooted since the pre-alpha demo walkthrough shown in 2018. Henderson's reasoning is that nothing in the footage has been provided matches the level of detail from that 2018 demo. Essentially, what this means is that fans are going to keep waiting for Beyond Good and Evil 2 for quite some time. Earlier this year, the game surpassed Duke Nukem's forever Guinness World Record for longest development period for a video game. The group's official website hasn't been updated with that statistic, but it does go to show how much time has passed since the game was announced. Yeah. After all this time, Ubisoft is going to have very high expectations from players, both from those that enjoyed the original game and newcomers alike. Whether Beyond Good and Evil 2 will be able to match those expectations when it does release remains to be seen. At least fans can rest assured that Ubisoft is still working on it, and the sequel will still come out at some point, theoretically. Yeah, I think we'll believe it when we see it at this point. You know what I mean? It's just been so long. I don't until something substantial comes. You know, I'm not going to believe that game's ever going to release. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet players want voice acting in future Pokemon games. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet might have one of the most heartfelt storylines in the history of the Pokemon franchise, but players feel that it is let down by a lack of voice acting. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is a divisive game for a number of reasons, including a rather miserable performance of the game's graphics. However, a YouTuber recently churned up another well-worn criticism of Pokemon games, the lack of voice acting. This went viral when the individual and several voice actors did a demo video demonstrating how much better the game would be if cutscenes had voice acting. The video's there. I'm not going to watch that in the news segment. It'll probably get copyright strike because it's somebody else's content. But I'll let you guys watch it. I'll throw it in chat, okay? Traditionally, the Pokemon games haven't used voice acting, even after moving to consoles like the DS and Switch that could support deeper and more complex audio files. While earlier Pokemon games didn't really have cutscenes that would have required voice acting, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet notably had a handful of pure cutscenes and flashbacks that didn't involve any player character involvement. Should the Pokemon franchises opt to use voice acting in future game, it can look to The Legend of Zelda. appropriate, as a potential example of how it could move forward. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was the first Zelda game to use voice acting, although it only had certain characters and cutscenes with voice acting. That might be a compromise that Game Freak might be willing to accept, although any voice acting would come with additional localization costs and time. Yeah, look, that's kind of been the progression for a lot of different games, right? A lot of different series have progressed that way. Titles that didn't, many games throughout their history, series have not initially had voice acting, right? But with the evolution of technology and the evolution of gaming, I think more and more gamers are getting to the point where we expect that, at least to some kind of moderate extent. In story-rich games with dialogue, we come to expect that nowadays because of where gaming is, where technology is. And it's a bit weird whenever you get into a modern game, a new release, and they haven't incorporated that. Yeah? Yo, nice. Nice, Aristotle. Yo, it's random mode time, guys. Let's get in there. PogChamp, dude. So a lot of games have kind of progressed that way, where they didn't normally have voice acting, and then they kind of slowly started incorporating it to an extent to where you even see modern versions of some of those titles have it to in great depth have included the voice acting, to where very little dialogue in the game anymore. In many games, there's very little dialogue that won't have voice acting incorporated in it. And I would say it's really weird to take a game like maybe Pokemon Scarlet and Violet that probably doesn't even have near as much dialogue in it as a game like, say, Disco Elysium that we played recently, right? Yeah, Aristotle, dude, you're absolutely right. It's gotten lazier and progressive at the same time. Yeah, they're actually trying to, like, significantly open up these Pokemon universes, these Pokemon worlds, if you will, the Pokemon universe and the Pokemon worlds, to these big open world environments, but they're not doing it very well. Yeah, I agree. I've talked about it quite a bit. So yeah, they're trying to like evolve these games, but they're not doing a very good job of it. And it's being not only are they not doing a good job of it, but like even in the Scarlet and Violet release, you're seeing a lot of bugs you didn't used to see in Pokemon games. The graphics don't look very good. It's pretty concerning, So again, you take a look, and I mean, obviously, Disco Elysium and Pokemon are two totally different types of games, but they both incorporate a lot of dialogue, a lot of text, but they're both modern titles. I mean, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet just released, whereas Disco Elysium was 2019, and that game is almost entirely voice acted. Outside of a little bit of stuff, and very, very well voice acted for a ton of dialogue. And it's weird to see a game not have near as much dialogue as other games and still can't incorporate some level of voice acting in it, Like, yo, Miso, what's up, buddy? And I think that's the thing that's weird about Pokemon right now. They're obviously trying to evolve the games. They're trying to make these universes, these Pokemon games, more immersive, right? Open world. They want it open world. They want it to be a more immersive, realistic experience, but they're failing on the front of the Pokemon still show up in the world very robotic-like. They're not realistic. Like in Breath of the Wild, I was talking about it yesterday during gameplay. Breath of the Wild, you look out into the distance, you see everywhere that you can travel to. Like Pokemon Arceus, you look out into the distance, it's like a default for how far the depth of view for your the player, it's just a default background that pops in until you get close enough to objects where they start loading into view. There are things like that Pokemon is not doing very well. And then you add in the fact that they're dealing with a lot of bugs and they're dealing with the game's not looking very well either. Pretty concerning, actually, I would say. And this just adds to the fact that, like, why are they not doing this? And I think most of the games are still being done by Game Freak, if I'm not wrong. Maybe somebody else needs to be developing these Pokemon games moving forward. I don't know. Far Cry 6 update finally adds highly requested feature. Ubisoft has finally announced that it will be adding a feature to Far Cry 6 that fans have been requesting since the game launched last year. Over the course of 2022, Ubisoft has continued to routinely add new updates and DLC to Far Cry 6 to expand the game's life cycle. While this trend will be ongoing in a major way next week, with the arrival of the new Lost Between Worlds expansion, a free patch for the title has now added this highly desired feature in question. Available to download now across all the game's platforms, Far Cry 6 has now gained a New Game Plus mode. This feature is one that fans have been begging to receive for a prolonged period of time, and it seems that Ubisoft finally took those requests to heart. In short, New Game Plus will allow players to replay Far Cry 6 without having to lose all of the gear that they may have accumulated over the course of their first playthrough. You know what's really kind of wild about this? Same developer, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was Valhalla. Assassin's Creed Valhalla from Ubisoft had announced for like roughly the past 2 years that they were planning on putting a New Game Plus mode into that game. And over the past, like, I think it was within the past week and a half, they basically came out and went, oh, hey, yeah, now we're not doing that. And there's a good portion of the fan base for AC Valhalla that was like, what? You know, like, what the crap are you talking about? And now Ubisoft is coming out and saying Far Cry 6, not just coming out and saying it, they are releasing New Game Plus for one of their other titles. I am guessing this is going to have AC Valhalla fans kind of up in arms, man. The update also introduces a completionist aid feature, providing players with guided assistance and uncovering all of Yara's hidden secrets. The upcoming Lost Between Worlds DLC for Far Cry 6 is poised to release next week on December 6th and will retail for $20 US. That's interesting. They didn't even talk about it in this article. But I bet some AC Valhalla fans are pretty tilted right now, dude. Like, wait, what? You told us for 2 years that we're going to get New Game Plus in AC Valhalla? Now you come out and tell us we're not getting it, but release a New Game Plus feature for Far Cry 6? Dude, I bet there's some tilted fans out there. I don't know, man. Sony says PS Plus is struggling, so Xbox suggests it takes a key Game Pass feature. Day one releases. I'm calling it. Xbox says, just do what we're doing. And if you've been keeping an eye on the very messy, very public fight that's going on between Sony and Microsoft at the moment, and we have, the fact that Xbox Game Pass subscribers are way ahead of PS Plus tier subscribers will not surprise you. News came out last week as part of the new development in that messy inquiry into whether Microsoft should be allowed to acquire Activision Blizzard. As an inquiry persists into whether the deal should be allowed to take place, the UK's Competition and Markets Authority published Sony's response to the authority's issued statement. We've seen some peculiar back and forth between each of the companies in the documents. Yeah, effectively, each company is trying to make itself look as small as possible. I'm not going to dive into too much of this, but ultimately, the way I see a lot of this is both of these companies are doing everything they can to get their way in this situation. They're doing everything they can to make the other one look smaller and petty about the situation. But ultimately, the way it comes off to me is that Sony is looking like the ones that are not wanting to be, yeah, basically. Sony is the one that comes off looking actually anti-competitive here. And don't get me wrong, there are pros and cons to every kind of situation in regards to whether you're talking about the gaming industry, any other form of business. Whenever any kind of business is going to overtake another business, buy out another business, there are issues with anti-competitiveness that comes about, right? But Activision Blizzard has not been a great company for a long time. Microsoft, I think, is one of the bigger companies that could come in and actually turn that company around. And what I see from Sony is that Sony doesn't want to have to resort to the same kind of tactics that Microsoft and Xbox has had to use for so many years to stay competitive, especially against Sony, in being very creative and inventive in the industry. Sony's kind of been able to chill for a long time. They've always just been, they've sold double the consoles Xbox has. Always. Xbox hasn't ever even made money off their consoles. It's always been software, subscription services, things like that. They've found ways to be competitive. And this is going to change the game. This purchase of Activision Blizzard changes a lot of things for competition, especially between Sony and or PlayStation and Xbox. And the way I see it is from all the information that I have, it makes Sony look actually like the ones that are kind of anti-competitive. They don't want to have to change anything about the way they're currently doing things, which is what this acquisition would do to them. It would make them have to kind of spread outside the box, if you will, to what their norm has been for so very long. They would now have to become very creative and find other ways to pull in, fans and I don't know, man. That's the way I see it. This is coming from somebody that, and in the realm of gaming consoles, I have traditionally, throughout my life, been more of a Sony fan. So anybody that wants to kind of go, oh, well, he's probably just, a Microsoft fan or whatever, that's not it, man. That's not it. What I will say is over the past year and a half, I've seen a lot more positive things in my own perception of what has come out from Xbox than what I've seen come out from Sony. And I would be actually from what I see from Sony in comparison to or Sony and PlayStation in comparison to Microsoft Xbox, I would be very, very scared about Sony getting this acquisition. As opposed to seeing Microsoft take it and Phil Spencer, who I'm actually really comfortable with as a CEO. Phil Spencer comes off as not just a good business person, a very, very, very good business person, but in a gamer. Phil Spencer comes off as a true gamer. So, whereas I don't see any kind of figure from PlayStation really that comes off the same way as Phil Spencer does to me. And I think that's what a lot of people want to see, you know? I'll stop there. But back into what this is actually talking about. In response, Microsoft says, we're paraphrasing here, if you're worried, why not add your games to PS Plus day and date like we do? I knew that's what it was going to be, man. I knew it. Microsoft makes a good point. Here's the proper wordy quote. Okay, so let's go back to this real quick. So each company is trying to make itself look as small as possible. Yeah. Sony is claiming that Xbox's Game Pass 29 million subscribers meant less than its own 47.3 million PS Plus subs. Microsoft suggested that PlayStation change its position on day and date additions to the service. After all, it's clearly working for the Xbox platform holder, right? The crux of the argument lies in Call of Duty. Sony reckons if Call of Duty was allowed on Xbox, PlayStation services and platforms would be hit badly, and that would be bad for the overall gaming ecosystem. It would be bad for them, is what it is. In response, Microsoft says, yeah, day one. I knew that's what this was going to be, right? That's the big difference between the two subscription services. And Sony has come out and said, we'll never do that. They came out months ago, it was June whenever the new PlayStation Plus subscription service rolled out. And it wasn't, within about a month of the rollout that they were actually prompted about this because it is a significant difference between the two subscription services. And basically Sony went, we'll never do that. We'll never release our games day one. Yeah. Sony's Jim Ryan explained why the company is against day and date releases in an investor briefing earlier this year. We are in a virtuous cycle where success has allowed investment, which has generated more success, which is allowing us to invest more and will hopefully generate yet more success. That virtuous cycle, we feel that if we were to move to a different model, which involved putting our AAA games into a subscription service on day one, we feel that there is significant risk to that virtuous cycle that we've established. So successfully, we would be compromised and potentially broken. So do you know what this quote is actually saying from Jim Ryan? What this quote says is that we have always done things a certain way. In fewer words, Jim Ryan has stated from Sony, we've always done things this way. We don't want to do things a different way. We don't want to have to change, even though the gaming industry is evolving and changing without us. That's exactly what this states. It's inevitable. The gaming industry is changing, and a big part of it is, a big catalyst behind it, is how creative and inventive Microsoft has actually been with things like their subscription service. But that's basically brass tacks. That's what this comes down to. And that's exactly what Jim Ryan just explained in a lot less words. Is they don't want to change. They don't want to embrace change, evolve with the times, right? They want things to stay the way they've always been. Will anything come from this back and forth? Will Sony be tempted to put upcoming mega hits on its PS Plus service on the day they launch? Probably not. As said at the top of this page, most of the mudslinging in these documents has been concocted with one goal in mind. Sony wants to kick up enough of a stink that the regulators won't let Microsoft's Activision Blizzard acquisition deal go through. And Microsoft wants to make it look like it needs the massive publisher under its belt in order to survive against Sony and Nintendo. Yeah. I think Sony's going to fail in this respect, in this regard. I think Microsoft's going to get to purchase Activision Blizzard. And I think they should be able to. Monster Hunter Rise Xbox PlayStation ports are reportedly coming. According to insider gaming sources, Monster Hunter Rise is coming to consoles. To be specific, they mentioned Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, PS4 and 5. This is big news as the moment the game is only available on Switch and PC, with the PC version of the game coming out almost a year after the Switch version. The source claims that these ports will have 4K res, 60 frames per second, and 3D audio. This isn't anything new, as the PC version of the game already has these features. However, it would be very interesting to see this console port happen. Monster Hunter World released on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, so seeing Monster Hunter Rise do the same would be nice. This allows more people to experience the latest entry to the Monster Hunter franchise, a series that made me a bona fide gamer. Having more people fall in love with this game would definitely make me happy, says the writer. As for the release date, the source also says the Xbox and PlayStation ports for Monster Hunter Rise will come out on January 20th. So next month at this point. About a month and a half from now. Not only that, but check this out. It'll be available on Game Pass. Too soon, chat? They also mentioned that the expansion Sunbreak will come out in spring 2023. That's around March to June, which is not that far off from the game's base game's supposed release. The source claims that the release date reveals for this port will happen at the Game Awards on December 8th. Cool. So I played a decent amount of Monster Hunter World. It was a lot of fun. There is a new game coming out that's very Monster Hunter-esque, though, if you didn't know. You know what, Aristotle? The only modern I'm gonna air quote this, modern console I have right now is the Switch. I don't like calling it modern because I'm really kind of the mindset the Switch is super dated. It's 7 years old at this point. It's an amazing console. It is an amazing console, but the hardware is super dated. I think that Nintendo is really, really, really overdue in whether it be... Ultimately, I think they just need to come out with Switch 2, Switch V2, whatever. The same type of concept around a console. The Switch is amazing in the concept of what it is and what it does in a dual role for both a handheld and serving the purpose as a traditional console, you know? Well, yeah, it is considered a modern console because there's not anything next gen for Nintendo. So it is. I'm just getting at the fact that I think they're overdue for something new. Because the hardware in that console is dated. It's very dated at this point. But I'm right there in the same place as you, buddy. I'm primarily a PC gamer. So I've got a Switch, but dude, I didn't buy PS4. I didn't buy an Xbox One, and I haven't bought any of the new consoles either. I've found it hard over the years. I used to buy a lot of consoles. Even as a PC gamer, I used to buy a lot of consoles. And I have found myself at a point where I don't feel like whenever I quit buying consoles, I kind of took a look at things and I was like, I'm not getting as much bang for my buck out of the consoles that I feel like I used to. That's why I kind of quit buying them, you know? Along with the fact that most games are starting to come to all platforms, it kind of got away from me feeling like I needed to have a modern console all the time. Now, Nintendo's a different kind of breed, if you will. Yeah, for the gaming industry. Nintendo software doesn't hit multi-platforms most of the time, you know what I mean? And it's kind of got its own little area, if you will. So, I mean, I'm right there with you. Yeah. But I don't know. I've kind of tossed the idea back and forth of getting a modern console. I've stayed away from Xbox stuff for a long time because way back in the day, I had a lot of hardware issues with early Xbox consoles, and it really, really turned me off. Even to this date, man, buying modern control. I've got 2 Xbox core controllers, and the bumper buttons break on these stupid things all the time, dude. They're easy to replace, but dude, that sucks. The engineering behind these is crap, man. I have to replace these buttons. I don't even use controllers that much, dude. I don't even use controllers very often. This one's broke right now. And all it is a little plastic pin that sits on the underneath. Yeah, dude. They just break all the time, man. It just, I don't know, man. So I don't even know where I would go with console right now. I'd probably buy an Xbox more than likely. I'm just so turned off by Sony nowadays. I'd probably go with an Xbox, but I don't even know if I'll hit that. Yeah, that's kind of where I got with things. The only reason I'd even, was buying PlayStations because I was really big into playing the NHL games back in the day, and they were only hitting PlayStation back then. And so, if I recall, anyways, maybe I'm wrong. They were probably on PlayStation and Xbox, but I was just, again, I never bought Xbox stuff because I had a really bad experiences with Xbox hardware early on. So, I don't know. PC's my jam, dude. But I'm right there with you, man. So, I don't know, man. If you guys aren't aware, there is a Monster Hunter-esque game coming from Square Enix. What is the name of this game? I think I have it on my wish list. Let me see. Yo, check this out. So let's talk about something else real quick. Paragon the Overprime is releasing on December 7th, okay? This is another, MOBA early access kind of game here. So while we talked about, what was the other one we talked about this morning? This is one that's coming out that I think is going to be free to play. So there are a couple of, third-person MOBA, modern MOBA type games that are coming. The one that released today that we talked about what was the name of it? Paradox, or I'll have to bring it back up. That one costs. I think this one's going to be free to play, man. There'll probably be some kind of in-game transaction stuff, but just know that if you wait another week, this is going to release, and we'll see. We'll compare. We'll compare and contrast once they've both been out for just a little bit, okay? Where is it, man? Is it only coming to, man, God, what is the name of it? Hold on. I can find it. Come on, dude. Well, that didn't. Is this it? Is this going to tell us? Smell the loot boxes? I know, dude. Yeah. Yeah, dude. That's what I was getting ready to talk about. Yeah, any game that's free to play, I mean, you're talking Battle Pass. Look, we talk about that a lot, though, right? So, I'll go back to the way I started the news segment off today and talk about one of the reasons, a big proponent for me in trying to get people access to as much free content as possible is because there's a big obstacle, I think, for a lot of people getting into gaming in price tags, right? That's a huge obstacle for people. And whether you're talking about games moving from the norm that used to be $60 for so long to go to $70 nowadays, and look, it's not just inflation, dude. It's greed. There's a lot of greed in there, too. Or microtransaction shops or DLC, you know what I mean? There's a big difference between a big content DLCs that are like, okay, man, that's probably worth some money. But a lot of developers will go, okay, the game just released. Now it's $70 as opposed to it being 60. And then a month and a half later, it's like, hey, here's DLC content that's $40 when you know that content was ready on release. You know, there's a lot of real scummy stuff that goes on with games nowadays in regards to monetization. Yeah. And then you're also talking about, you know, paying full price for a game and then having battle pass stuff in the game and then having microtransaction shops too and the loot box mechanics. And I mean, there are good ways to do it and there are bad ways to do it. And free-to-play games need to make money somehow, right? But there are definitely good ways and bad ways to do it. And I absolutely am against, like, the pay-to-win stuff is crap. I am better with, like, an MMO that can do some, you know, pay-to-progress faster, like, up your skills a little bit faster if you need or stuff like that. I'm more accepting of some stuff like that, but there are examples of good ways to do stuff and bad ways, you know? Yeah, exactly, Aristotle. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Is this it? No, dude. No, dude. I can't think of the name of the game right now. I'm pretty sure Square's making it, but I'll get off of it for now. There is a very Monster Hunter-esque game coming out, dude, and I cannot think of the name of it. But I'm pretty sure Square Enix is making it, man. And I can't think of the name of the game right now. We'll move on. Major PS4 and PS5 release leaks early on PSN. PSN has leaked a major PS4 and PS5 release early. Between now and the end of the year, PS4 and PS5 gamers have a variety of new releases to keep them busy between the already out God of War Ragnarok and Modern Warfare 2, excuse me. Upcoming releases like Callisto Protocol, Marvel's Midnight Suns, and Need for Speed Unbound. That said, it looks like PlayStation gamers will be able to add another game to this slew of games. Looks like, oh, Neon White, dude. Not only is Neon White coming to PS4 and PS5, but wait, what? Why is this stated weird? Yeah, Neon White, I haven't played, but this game looks very cool, and our buddy Pinky's played quite a bit of it. Why is this? Am I reading this wrong? More specifically, it looks like not only is Neon White coming to PS4 and PS5, but coming to the pair of PlayStation consoles very soon. Yeah, I was reading it wrong. So apparently it's coming pretty quickly here. This game is wild. It's like first person. It's very, very fast paced. It's really good for people that like to speedrun stuff. It's like first person shooter, but you're using these cards that you grab off killing enemies to get different kinds of like movement abilities and weapons to use and stuff like that to move around these different stages. And if you're into speedrunning stuff and FPS games, Neon White's going to be right up your alley. I'll show you the trailer real quick.
We're called neons, sinners plucked from hell to do God's dirty.
Aristotle, yeah.
I'm finding
Monster
it hard
Hunter
to
World
believe
was
we're
fun,
in
dude. I
heaven.
played it for a little bit. This game looks dope, man. I would like to play it at some point. And again, our buddy Pinky, shout out to Pinky. Pinky said this game is amazing. Yeah. So for now, this is just a leak. Everything, this is not official. Take it with a grain of salt, okay? But it does look like there's probably a pretty good chance Neon White is coming to PlayStation consoles. Cool. Okay, 2 games available today with Xbox PC Game Pass. What are these real quick? Highlight here is The Walking Dead, the final season. Serves as the epic final chapter in Telltale Games' amazing series. And a totally reliable delivery service. All right. So these 2 titles, I'll let you guys watch them if you're interested in those games. But looks like these are on Game Pass now. Okay. New Xbox Game Pass tease has Star Wars fans excited. A new tease from Xbox directed at Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate subscribers has Star Wars fans across Xbox One, Series S, and X excited. Tomorrow. Today is what it is. This was written yesterday. So today, Microsoft should reveal December's Xbox Game Pass games. Ahead of this, it seemingly teased one game that will be included in the final batch of 2022 games. As you can probably guess, this game is a Star Wars game. More specifically, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is coming to Xbox Game Pass sometime in December. Yeah, tease came straight from the Xbox Game Pass Twitter account, which tweeted a few hours before this was written yesterday, teasing the release of Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga on Game Pass. Cool. Yeah, it's gotten pretty good reviews. The Lego games are traditionally pretty solid plays for just some funny, chill experiences to just vibe out and get into some different kinds of universes while also enjoying Lego theme. So if you want to check out the trailer here, check it out. It's there in chat. Yeah, yeah, they are. Okay, why is this up? Am I tripping? I don't even know why this is up. I might have fat clicked some. New Marvel's Wolverine report has disappointing news for PS5 fans. Really? A new report about Marvel's Wolverine, the upcoming PS5 game from Insomniac Games, the developer behind Marvel's Spider-Man and Ratchet and Clank, has some disappointing news for fans on PS5 pertaining to when the game may release. Since its announcement on September 9th of last year, there's been radio silence about the title from Insomniac and Sony. As you may know, there's still no word of a release date. Technically, this means it could release next year. A new report has already gone ahead and rained on this parade. According to a prominent industry insider and leaker, Tom Henderson, not only is the game not releasing this year, won't release until 2024 at the earliest. In other words, it could very well be a 2025 game or later. Now, Henderson does note this prediction is a mixture of both knowledge and speculation, so take it with a grain of salt, but it adds up. Marvel Spider-Man 2 is currently in development and scheduled to release this year, and it's likely the primary focus of Insomniac. Yes, we knew that, though it's a studio with multiple teams. However, its other teams have largely worked on experimental titles and Ratchet and Clank. You'd assume Marvel's Wolverine would be handled by the internal team with experience making Marvel games. Yeah, nobody actually involved in the development across Sony or Insomniac has commented on this. Look, ultimately, here's the deal. A lot of people are get hyped up about games, but at the end of the day, we want a great experience, right? And if a great experience takes more time to get the job done, so be it. Again, I think where the issue comes in is where a studio starts hitting you with release dates that continually get pushed back and delayed, and you're going, there's something wrong, man, But for, something like this where there hasn't been a whole lot of info in the first place and people are just kind of hopeful that it's going to come sooner rather than later, but then you find out that it's still a little ways away, you just got to kind of understand that they're going to take their time due diligence and trying to make sure that they're bringing a quality title to the table for us, and obviously Insomniac is a very good studio. They make incredible games. At least they have. They've got a good track record, and we can only hope that they do the same thing with Wolverine. All right, man. This is some stuff we're probably pretty good on already, but look, if you're not aware, TLDR, earlier this year, Embracer Group purchased all the North American development studios that used to be owned by Square Enix, right? Along with those purchases, and we're talking like 4 major development studios, most of them in Canada, if not all. But along with those studios, Embracer got also the IPs for Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, Thief, and so there's been a lot of kind of like, hey, we're gonna get some like revamps, some breathing some new life into some of these franchises, right? Now that a new studio, a new developer owns these IPs. But this specifically states, as recently reported by Benziga, Embracer was one of the business conglomerates that acquired the largest number of video game studios in 2022. In addition, they also got all the rights to the Tolkien stuff. We're talking about Lord of the Rings, all the Tolkien stuff for video games. It might even be entertainment across. I think there are some restrictions on it. I think it's specific timeline stuff, maybe. But a lot of the Tolkien stuff, especially for video games, is now Embracer. I need to look at all the details again, but it's a lot. Okay, sorry, right here. In addition, the company got a hold of relevant franchises such as The Lord of the Rings. Now, The Lord of the Rings, I think that's what it is. The Lord of the Rings covers a pretty significant timeline of the, that Tolkien universe. So they have a lot of content to work with. Now, the Swedish company is back on the scene as it could be responsible for reviving the beloved Legacy of Kain saga. People have been calling for some new Legacy of Kain stuff for a long time, too. In May 2022, Embracer acquired Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, and the studio now closed known as Onoma, formerly Square Enix Montreal. Following these moves, Embracer Group CEO Lars Wingfors commented on the possible plans for the iconic franchises that were part of the acquisition. Apart from the obvious sequels, he also mentioned remakes, remasters, spin-offs, as well as transmedia projects. At the time, the news was very welcome, and more than a few fans were excited to know that the outlook dictated Tomb Raider and Deus Ex would stick around for a while. In fact, Lara Croft's next adventure is already in development in Unreal Engine 5. Seems like this prolific future will not be exclusive to big blockbusters popularized in the past by Eidos. Embracer has plans for its niche franchises as well. Just a couple of months ago, the company published an open poll asking Legacy of Kain fans what they would like to see in a possible resurrection of the saga. The franchise has been inactive since 2003 when Legacy of Kain Defiance was released almost 20 years ago. Nevertheless, being inactive doesn't mean being forgotten. Yeah. Yeah, they did some surveys here recently, and basically they found that, and we kind of hit on this as well when these survey results came out, but basically, typical survey responses for them vary between 1,000 to 3,000 answers or replies, right? And for this Legacy of Kain stuff, they were like polling to see how many people would be interested. The numbers for Legacy of Kain were overwhelming in comparison. Even more so, I think that a total of 73,000 players completed the survey. It's quite a large amount in comparison. Rogers made it clear they heard the fans loud and clear. Embracer has not shared details from the responses. Respondents were asked to choose whether they would prefer the next game in the series to be a single-player title, a co-op game, or a PvP multiplayer. Gamers were also asked whether they would prefer a reboot of the saga, an upgraded remaster of a previous game, or a remake of an existing title made from scratch. Yeah. According to the survey data, the saga has a very active fan base. How many enjoy this privilege after almost 2 decades? In an industry where there are success stories like the Resident Evil remakes, there's plenty of room for comebacks. Yeah. I mean, no doubt. I think that's one of the things we've talked about a lot here recently.
Hey, shut your pie hole, buddy.
Pinky, what's up, dude? I've been shouting you out a lot this morning, dude. From the Steam Deck stuff, I don't know if you've been hanging out, but from the Steam Deck stuff all the way through Neon White news, man, I've been shouting you out constantly, man. What's up, dude? So we talk a lot about, like, you see things happen, Sony, like, remastering, or are they remastering or remaking Horizon, the first Horizon game? And it's like, man, it's only 5 years old, dude. There's so many, like, old iconic titles that need love and need to be brought back to life. And you got these developers that just want to go grab these games that don't even need it right now. And it's such a weird move on the part of a lot of developers. Instead of going and grabbing these games that the community really, really, really has been waiting a long time to see be brought back to life. We see developers do these weird remasters or remakes for games that aren't even very old, and it's like, what the crap are you doing? Missed every shout out. Just right. Haven't seen you talking crap behind my back. Oh, good. Yeah, it was all good stuff for sure. Don't even worry about it, dude. Don't even worry. Actually, in regards to so Legacy of Kain, we already kind of hit on this previously, but it's good to talk about it again. Legacy of Kain fans, looks like Embracer is going to be bringing us some new Legacy of Kain gaming titles before too long. In the future, we'll say. We'll see. Let's talk about this again. I talked about this. Shout out to Pinky. Buddy, this was really, really good stuff, dude. I really appreciate you shooting this to the Discord. We talked about it first thing this morning on the at the beginning of the news segment, and I'm going to talk about it again. I'm going to continue to bring this up until the Game Awards happen, because this is pretty cool. Legacy of Kain was sick, dude. Yeah. I didn't play all of them, but I played a number of the titles, the early titles, and I loved it, dude. So you can win a Steam Deck during the Game Awards. So TLDR, they're giving away a Steam Deck every single minute during the Game Awards, okay? Here's what you need to know. A preview of this, you can also get a sticker for animated Steam Pal digital sticker for your Steam account. For everybody who registers, you have to register. And for a preview of the sticker and to register for the giveaway, you'll have to head to this link. Okay, I'm going to put this in chat. There you go. Now, the important stuff, okay? Registration for the drawing is required. You have to register. You must meet all these below eligibility requirements as well, okay? You must be a resident in the US, Canada, United Kingdom, or Europe, the EU. You need to have made a purchase on Steam between November 14th of 2021 and November 14th of 2022. Okay? Your account must be in good standing, and you cannot have a limited account. So registration is already open. The Game Awards will be streaming live at this link. To be eligible, you must be registered, log in, and watching the stream at this site. So understand this. We're going to watch the Game Awards in this channel. In a week, we will watch it in this channel. But if you register and you want to win one of these, you have to watch it at this link. What I will probably do is we will be watching it together in my channel. We'll watch the Game Awards. I'll just have it open on some other tab and have it muted or have it open on my phone or whatever. But you guys do you. You know what I mean? Kappa, Pinky. Yeah. Hey, man. You know what I mean? I want people to have a chance to win this stuff. But if people aren't able to, they don't meet these requirements or they want to hang out in the channel and watch, that's an option. You know what I mean? We'll be watching it in the channel, and that's always an option for people that, you can, if you want to hang out with the community and watch in the channel, you can do that and have, this open in another tab or whatever, so you should still be in the running to win, right? But this is linked in chat. Again, shout out Pinky. I really appreciate it, buddy. This is awesome, man. This is a great piece of hardware. This is a great console for anybody that is into gaming, has a Steam account already with a lot of titles, that just wants to get maybe a little bit of mobile gaming going on, or for anybody that wants to maybe get into some PC style gaming, right, that hasn't had that option. Here's your chance. This is like a nice little segue or transition to getting into PC gaming potentially, where maybe you've been traditionally into consoles, right? Because this gives you access to a lot of PC titles, but you're still kind of mobile and using controller-esque type of stuff, right? So give it a shot. See what you can do. Yeah, you get a chat sticker. Is that what it is? Interesting. I'm talking to you. So there you go, guys. Again, I'll continue to bring this up every single day during the news and remind people. That way you can get in there, get registered, try to get yourself some good hardware, okay? Again, Pinky, I really appreciate it, buddy. That's amazing, man. Thank you very much. Let's segue out of this. Them's the breaks, man. That's it for the news. Lots of news this morning. So it went a bit long, but it's good stuff. So to everybody that's part of this community, you guys rock. I appreciate you very much, and thanks to everybody that was part of today's video gaming news segment. All right. So we'll be moving on to day 3 of Breath of the Wild. Master mode engaged, yeah. But if anybody is checking out this content as a VOD on YouTube or our Twitch channel later on, and you're enjoying the content, see what you can do about coming and hanging out with myself and the rest of the amazing individuals that are part of this community. When we go live at 6 a.m. CST every single day, we start all of our streams off with video gaming news before we hop into whatever gaming content we have slated for the rest of the day, okay? Other than that, stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another, and we'll catch everybody tomorrow for December 2nd's edition of Video Gaming News, and it will be day 4 of Breath of the Wild. Cool?